Hello there, you guys. Welcome to another one of my live videos. And Manchester United have just beaten Brighton by 2 goals to 1 at Old Trafford. Just had a glimpse of the highlights. As I currently said, watch about 6 or 7 minutes of the highlights because I couldn't potentially, watch it all because it currently wasn't on TV and I couldn't currently stream it. As I said, but Manchester United won by 2 goals to 1 today against Brighton. That's 7 wins out of 7 now. Solskjaer now has become officially the first manager to win his first 6 league games. So potentially now he has beaten Sir Matt Busby's record. 7 wins in all competitions, 6 league wins, 1 FA Cup win, as we all know. And now is it, 19 goals scored in the process? As I said, and yet again, Rashford getting his name on the score sheet today. I think now Marcus Rashford has scored in his last 4 league games as Marcus Rashford. Also, Diego Dalot, getting the assist as well. And a Paul Pogba penalty, as I currently said. But yeah, Manchester United won by 2 goals to 1 today, as I currently said. So we're looking very, very good under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I think potentially now I would give him the money, to spend in this current January window because I know there's still key areas, where we do need to strengthen up, in our current team. But, Chelsea, spending in this January transfer window, they're getting players on the board that they need. So why don't, Manchester United board just give Solskjaer the money now, as he currently said. But, he didn't make many, I think it was a similar team, as he played against Tottenham. I think it was the exact same team, more or less. Potentially, he had to make a late change, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because potentially Luke Shaw was supposed to be in contention, but I think he had some kind of illness, so he brought Diego Dalot in instead, did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But he did go with a 4-2-3-1. He went with De Gea. He put obviously Ashley Young at right back. He put Jones and obviously Lindelof as centre back partnership because obviously Smalling and Marcus Rojo, of course, are still out injured. And he put Dalot at left back. So it was good to see him give Dalot the chance. It was good to see Dalot get an assist today. He put obviously Herrera and Matic in the midfield. He put obviously Martial on the left where he creates that width very, very well. Does Anthony Martial? Put Pogba in the middle, and I think Pogba's getting the freedom to express himself under Solskjaer. Potentially on the right, he put Jesse Lingard on the right, and obviously put Marcus Rashford up front. Where he looks very, very effective. Indeed, Marcus Rashford. But just looked at some of the stats. I think we did have a lot of we created a lot of chances in the game. I think we created 15 chances. Brighton created 7. We had 20 shots. Brighton had 7. As I currently said, but I only watched some of the highlights, so I can't give you a full match reaction. We did have chances in the first half, to be quite fair, what I saw on the highlights. Rashford had a couple of opportunities. One was saved by the goalkeeper as well. One that just went over the bar. Pogba also had a chance in the first half. It was like some kind of overhead kick, but the current goalkeeper had saved it. As I said, Brighton, did have chances of their own, but I think a lot of their chances, were quite wasteful. So they weren't clinical enough for Brighton, and they were lacking in the final third. But our first goal was from a Paul Pogba penalty. Paul Pogba had got fouled in the box, as I said. So our first goal was from a Paul Pogba penalty. Tucked it away, very, very nice indeed. And Marcus Rashford's second goal was very, very good indeed. And Rashford made his 150th appearance today for Manchester United, as I said, and now he scored 4 goals in his last 4 games as Marcus Rashford. So Rashford scoring and providing, Pogba's scoring and providing, Pogba getting his name on the score sheet yet again today. But it was lovely, Freddie pass from Diego Dalot, found Marcus Rashford. Lovely piece of brilliance from Marcus Rashford. He's skillful, very, very good. And it was a lovely curling shot, and it went straight into the bottom corner of that. And, and that was 2-0, as we all currently know. Second half, we still had chances. I think Martial, had a couple of chances himself as well. But you can see the difference in this team now. There's confidence, there's motivation. You can see there's belief in the players that they do want to play for them. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I think Brighton scored. I think was it Gross that got Brighton's goal. I didn't actually see Brighton's goal. To be quite honest with you, I think that was actually scored in the 72nd minute. I think it was Brighton's goal. But it was good to see. Obviously, I did tell you. Obviously, Sanchez had obviously been training midweek because obviously he has been injured as Sanchez. Obviously, we knew we had on the bench. We had Sanchez on the bench. We had Bailly on the bench. We had Darmian on the bench. We had Lukaku and that on the bench, as I said. But Solskjaer brought three substitutions on in the second half. So he brought Lukaku on because, as I did say, I knew he wasn't going to start Lukaku because what Rashford offers up front, Lukaku can't currently do this. So I knew Lukaku wasn't going to start, as I currently said. But Lukaku came on. Obviously Lingard was playing on the right, but Matic in the second half came on for Jesse Lingard, as we all know. Lukaku came on, and right near the end, Matteo Darmian came on. So it was good to see, Solskjaer, give Darmian a chance as well. As I said, but it's a great result for us now. Potentially, obviously, Arsenal and Chelsea kick off at 5:30. So potentially now, as it stands, with 3 points, above Arsenal, with 3 points behind top 4. So it's guaranteed that Chelsea and Arsenal are definitely going to drop points. As I said, another game today, Liverpool winning 4-3 against Crystal Palace today. That was a 7-goal thriller. Villa. Liverpool obviously now sitting 7 points, clear at the top. They are potentially, still the favourites to win the league, as I currently said. But you can see the difference in this team, and definitely, top four is definitely now on for us. That's our objective this season, is to potentially, get in that top four position, as we all know. And then I think we're going to graduate. We're going to elevate, to that higher level, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I said, and hopefully next season, get us back up there competing, with the likes of City and Liverpool, and get us back up there competing for major honours, as Manchester United do want to do. But if I were Manchester United board now, I would, give Solskjaer the money to spend, even though Solskjaer did come out in the press saying it's unlikely we're going to make any signings, and he doesn't expect Manchester United to make any signs, as we all know. And he did mention I was going to give everybody the chance. He was going to be rotating, and he was going to give everybody the chance, including the youth players as well. But I think this team's going to definitely flourish under Solskjaer. The difference in this team is we're getting fullbacks more forward, we're creating more chances, finishing's improved. Pogba's getting the freedom to express himself, the front man are getting the freedom, to interchange closer together, as you've seen. There's a lot of vast improvements in our squad, since Solskjaer's coming. And Solskjaer's obviously now the number one favourite, to get the job at Manchester United. As we all know, it's probably Ed Woodward's number one choice now, to get, the job at Manchester United. He said he would like the job at Manchester United, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because he was a great player for 11 years, from 1996 to 2007. And obviously, he watched some of these players grow and develop, when he managed the reserve team, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as we all currently know. But yeah, I'd given the money now to spend on currently, players that we do currently need. We've still got players coming to the end of the contract, and I still, potentially, think, players will be leaving Manchester United. Wait there. Where's my bloody charger? But I do still think players, will be leaving Manchester United, of course. But it was good to see Marcus Rashford, making his 150th appearance today for the club. And I said, we look very, very effective in that midfield with Herrera and Matic and, Pogba and all that. And, in our front line, we look very, very effective with Martial on the left, who creates that with. Rashford's very, very effective centrally. I think Lingard operates himself very, very well on that right-hand side, as we all currently know. So potentially that is mainly our best 11. So I think Solskjaer knows what he's doing, because we're playing more direct as well, more forward thinking. And this is he understands the philosophy, does Solskjaer, and this is the attacking football that we used to see under Alex Ferguson, as we all know. So the glory days are returning to Manchester United. We did only win by 2-1. You thought it would have won more than 2-1 against Brighton, because Brighton obviously have had a bad record against the top 6 sides this season, as we all know in the current process, guys. But as I did say to you guys, I didn't watch all the game. I just had a glance at the highlights, so I didn't see Brighton's goal. But we got a goal from Paul Popper, penalty, and second goal was a piece of brilliance from Marcus Rashford. But lovely, pass from Diego Dalot, as well known. It was good to see Dalot in contention. It was obviously Luke Shaw was likely to be in contention, but due to an illness, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had to make a late change. So he obviously brought Dalot in to contention, instead of Luke Shaw, as I currently said. But you can see vast improvements in the team. As we all know, there's heart, there's desire, there's passion, the passing's better, we're getting forward more, as we all know. So vast improvements have come in, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because Solskjaer made it clear, he said he wants the players to express themselves, as he has confirmed. He wants the players to get out there and join football, and this is exactly what the players have done. And, they are gelling together now and working as a team. So this is a different Manchester United, to what we saw under Jose Mourinho, and to what we saw under Van Gaal, and to what we saw under Moyes. This is a total different Manchester United now, as we all know. And I hope he does get the job on a full-time basis, as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because as I did say, that's 19 goals now in 7 games. As we all know, we have kept 3 clean sheets, to be quite fair, but 19 goals in 7 games, first manager to win his first 6 games, so his 6 league games, so potentially now he has beaten Sir Matt Busby's record, as we all know. And definitely, we know it's going to be a tough test against Arsenal in the FA Cup. I definitely think Marcus Rashford will be in contention for that, because as I did say, Marcus Rashford, obviously, what he offers, Lukaku can't offer as well. So obviously Rashford will be number 1 to start in that game. But I did say I don't see how Lukaku complements our front line, and I think he can be an impact, from the substitutes bench, to be quite honest with you. Obviously Sanchez didn't play today for Manchester United, as we all know, even though he had been training. But Lukaku doesn't have pace. He can score goals, as he has proven in the Premier League, Romelu Lukaku throughout his playing career in the Premier League. But as I did say, his first touch, he doesn't have any pace. He can't press high like Rashford and Lingard and Martial can, and even Sanchez can press. I don't see how he complements our front line, and that's why he's not going to be obviously first choice, especially against against Arsenal, as I currently said. So potentially Rashford will be favoured over Lukaku, because Rashford is mainly our number 9 now, as we all know. He's 21 years of age, and I think potentially he's going to grow and develop more under Solskjaer. I think Martial's going to grow and develop more under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. To be quite fair, so that's 7 wins out of 7. Potentially, when we had Alex Ferguson, we could go on at 7 winning 8. We could go on 7-8 game winning streak, without even coming to losing. And so far, we have done this under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. There's no way in a million years we'd have done this under Jose Mourinho. Got 7 victories out of 7. No way, because his managerial appearance at the club wasn't good enough. His style of play wasn't good enough, and he just used to play defensively a lot. Did Jose Mourinho? But obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he's not doing this. But he knows that, he's doing this. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he's going with the attacking philosophy. As we all know, he's getting the players to express themselves, get them enjoying football. As we all currently know, so it's looking positivity. He's back at Manchester United, as we all currently know. So hopefully, I think he can elevate us to that higher level. Hopefully, we can get the top 4 this season, which is very, very hopeful. And still, definitely, I think we're in it. A month or so ago, we were a mid-table club, and now all of a sudden, we're back to the way we used to be under Alex Ferguson, as we all currently know, as I said. But yeah, great result, as I currently said, for Manchester United. Arsenal and Chelsea does kick off soon, as I said. But obviously, we still know we've got a lot of players coming to the end of the contracts, and I still do think, players are going to leave Manchester United, to be quite honest with you, as I said. As I did confirm to you, obviously, Fellaini's out 3 to 4 weeks with a calf injury, as we all currently know. Fellaini doesn't fit in this new system, because I think potentially Fellaini doesn't complement our midfield. And I think Matic is playing really, really well under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I think his distribution's improved. I think he's looking more effective in his passing in Matic. We know he's slow, just like Fellaini. We know he's slow, Matic, but I think he's potentially a better footballer than Fellaini. And Fellaini's very, very static and slow. As well, we know Lukaku's slow, but still Lukaku is a proven goal scorer. But in my opinion, I think Fellaini will be leaving the club. He's out for 3 or 4 weeks. I think Solskjaer's keen on sanctioning Marine Fellaini off for around £15 million or something like that. I think he's had offers from China, and I think a few, I think Milan and Porto have been interested in Fellaini as well. But I just don't see how he fits in this new regime at Manchester United. Marine Fellaini. So I do think Fellaini will be going. There's been talks of Scott McTominay leaving, because Scott McTominay's hardly played this season for us as well. But reportedly, he's not willing to sanction him off now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, due to the Fellaini injury. I think he's going to be keeping McTominay this month. And same with Fred. We've hardly seen him in contention. Fred, then we paid, what was it, £52 million for him last summer. He didn't really get the opportunity, did he, under Jose Mourinho, Fred, to be quite honest with you. But he hasn't really been playing that much, Fred, to be quite honest with you. So if he isn't getting enough game time still, he could potentially be leaving as well, could Fred, as we all know. But we do still need a centre defensive midfielder, in my opinion. We definitely need a strong central defender, as we all know. But I think Lindelof's playing very, very, very well defensive this season, as I did currently say. And also, we know that I think Darmian's going to be leaving. He did come on late in the game today, but I still think he'll be leaving, because obviously he's not our first choice left back. Obviously, Darmian, he's obviously Luke Shaw's our first choice left back, and I think Darmian could be leaving because he's coming to an end of his contract, and there's been a few teams that have been interested in him, Darmian, as we all know. Also too, I do think could be leaving, who I do think could be leaving Manchester United, Antonio Valencia. I think he will be leaving in the summer, to be quite honest with you, Antonio Valencia, because obviously, as I did say, Ashley Young is obviously our first choice right back, as we all know, featuring again, right back today, Ashley Young. He's made over 300 odd appearances now, as Ashley Young, and he's still potentially, playing very, very well, getting high up the pitch, getting involved, as I currently said, is Ashley Young, as we all currently know. So potentially, we're still in talks of signing him an extension at the club, Ashley Young, as we all know, but we know he's our first choice right back, and he's 33 years of age now. Ashley Young has been here a good 7-8 years now, as I said. But I do think Valencia will be going in the summer, because essentially he's hardly played in the Premier League this season. Of course, he's 33 like Ashley Young is, but he's been here like 10 years now, is it? Antonio Valencia, as we all know, he's obviously won everything here, just like Ashley Young's won everything here, apart from the Champions League, of course. But and he's made over 300 odd appearances as Antonio Valencia, since he's been here. But I do think he will be gone in the summer, to be quite honest with you. And I still do think we do need that right hand side of the dressing, because all our attack is coming from the left hand side, with Martial, who creates that width very, very well on the left. I think Martial's very, very good on the left hand side for us. The attack's coming through Luke Shaw, Pogba, and Martial, and all that on the left. But we need someone on that right hand side. As I currently said, side. But I do think, there will be players going. I think Jones, he's good when he gets them running games, but he's known for injuries. He has been playing recently, alongside Lindelof, but I think Phil Jones could be gone next season. I think Smalling could be gone next season, who's currently still injured at the moment, so I think he could be gone as well. But there has been talks. Obviously, we've got players coming to the end of the contract term, as we all know, that I've been speaking to you about on some of my recent videos. Obviously, reports have been coming out today, obviously, regarding Juan Mata. Obviously, I think now Lingard is preferred choice on that right-hand side, over Juan Mata, to be quite honest with you. But Juan Mata did come on in the game today. It was good to see him, come on, Juan Mata, as we all know. So reportedly, we have been in talks. We are due. Well, Manchester United, I think his current agent, Juan Mata, and himself is due to have talks with the Man United officials about Juan Mata securing a new deal with the club. As after Juan Mata did admit he's unsure about he's unsure if he's going to be in next season, because I think he does currently miss Spain, because he grew and developed in Spain, and that's where he began his youth career. And he spent 4 seasons with Valencia, as we all know. He had a 3-year spell with Chelsea as well, and he has been here since 2014. And this is his 5th season now with Man United. He's made over 200 odd appearances. He's won everything in English football, of course, apart from the Premier League, and that's the only thing Juan Mata has not won, the Premier League, as I currently said. But as I did say, I think he's still been very, very consistent, since we got him in 2014, where Juan Mata has been very, very consistent, since we got him, to be quite honest with you. He's currently receiving about 170,000, I think he's receiving £170,000 a week wages, he's Juan Mata, at the moment. But reportedly Man United, I think his father and his agent is currently due to meet up, with the Man United officials about discussing of getting Juan Mata a new contract at the club, because it currently expires this summer. But reportedly we're keen on giving him a new 1-year contract term extension, Juan Mata. But reportedly, I think we are willing to reduce his £170,000 a week. So if Juan Mata is willing to go along with this, then this 1-year contract extension should go through in the current process, as I currently said. But since he's been here, he's won the EFL Cup. He's won the EFL Cup, the Europa League, and the FA Cup. Juan Mata, since he's been here. So that's been big breaking news today, as we all know. He's still one of the fans' favourites. He's Juan Mata, to be quite honest with you. Who else? Juan Mata. Who else? There's obviously other players as well coming to the end of the deals. Obviously, it came out in the media yesterday that reportedly Anthony Martial was close to securing a new 5-year deal with the club, as that did confirm regarding Anthony Martial. Because obviously last year, we activated a 12-month extension on his current contract, Antonio Martial. As we all know, we activated a further 12 months on his current contract, Anthony Martial. Obviously, it said yesterday in the press that we are reportedly close to agreeing a 5-year contract for Martial. He has been here since 2015, so he's been here a good 3.5-4 seasons now. United still very, very young. Well, he's 23 years of age, so I think potentially now he's 2 years older than Marcus Rashford, is Anthony Martial, as we all know. But as I did say, we've had him here since 2015, as we all know. Currently, his representatives during did say before that he was pessimistic about Martial signing a new long-term deal at the club. He actually reported his representative that he wanted to leave Manchester United during the course of last summer, but he didn't. He is remaining at Manchester United. And I think we will get a 5-year. I think we will get a new deal for Anthony Martial. I think we will come to an agreement with Juan Mata for the new deal, because Solskjaer wants Juan Mata to sign a new deal, as Solskjaer has confirmed, as we all currently know. But yeah, there's a lot of players coming to the deals, as I did say. We're still in talks of getting Ander Herrera a new deal at the club as well. Ander Herrera, I think he's been very, very consistent, for Manchester United, since Louis van Gaal got him, to be quite honest with you, in 2014. So he has been here a good 5 years now. Ander Herrera, I think he's made just over made under 2 century appearances as Ander Herrera, but he's been more of a regular now, since Solskjaer's come in, as we all currently know, because earlier on this season he was mainly making substitute appearances, was Ander Herrera, as we all currently know. And same situation with David De Gea, as we all currently know. Obviously, I think he wants to players, does De Gea. Obviously, he's demanding a wage increase, and I think he's demanding that he wants around £300,000 a week for him to sign a new long-term deal at the club. And De Gea does want to stay here, as we all know, because since he's been here, he's made over 300 odd appearances as David De Gea. I think that's in all competitions. Nearly made a century now of clean sheets, I think, in the Premier League, David De Gea, and he's been here since 2011, so he has grown and developed very, very well. We know Real Madrid obviously wanted him in 2015, but they didn't. Juventus and Paris Saint-Germain obviously monitored their interest in David De Gea, but as David De Gea has obviously obviously made clear that he wants to be up there elevating to that higher level and challenging for trophies and stuff. And I think he believes De Gea and the rest of the team believe this, they believe they can do it under the management of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. As we all currently know, David De Gea has won Clubs Player of the Year 4 out of 5 seasons. He's won Matt Busby Player of the Year a few times as well, and he's won everything here, of course, apart from the Champions League. So potentially he is the best goalkeeper in the world. Is David De Gea, but I think we'll come to an agreement on a new long-term deal for De Gea as well, because we activated a 12-month extension on his current contract as well last year, as it did confirm as well. But since Solskjaer's coming, he's changed everything at the club. We're playing more direct, more forward thinking, creating more chances, getting full backs higher up the pitch and getting forward, centre backs galloping forward, and from front everything's improved since Solskjaer's coming. From back to front, everything has improved. The midfield's improved, attackively, and the attacking third of the pitch has improved. We're looking very, very good in the final third now. I think defensively we've improved, but we still definitely do need a defender, as we all know. But everything has improved, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's coming. He's changed the whole identity. He's got the players playing for him, as we all know. His managerial style definitely suits the club, does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because he knows the culture of the club inside out, does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and he knows the traditions of the club, does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because he was a great player, managed the United reserve team, didn't do so well as manager with Cardiff, and you got them relegated and he won 2 Norwegian titles and all, but he's now the favourite to get the job on a full-time basis. But Solskjaer did confirm it's unlikely we'll make any signings. There's still 11-12 days left of the of this January transfer window, and I think United board should give him the money now to spend and just go and get a top-class central defender, what we currently do need, as we all know. And obviously our number one is Koulibaly. He would be fantastic. I know Napoli have been hard to negotiate with in this January transfer window, because the Napoli president's confirmed they're not willing to do any business in this January transfer window, as we all know. Even though we've been in negotiations so far in the process, Napoli have turned 3 bids down. The recent one was a £95 million bid, and we know it will cost us in the excess of around £100 million, to get Koulibaly in, as we have all currently know. We know it will cost us that much, but we have got that financial power, to meet his valuation, as we all know. And he's obviously unhappy with Napoli, as we all know. He's unhappy in Napoli. He's unhappy in Italy, is Koulibaly. He's unhappy. I think majority of it is due to this racial abuse, he suffered, last year on Boxing Day, Koulibaly. And the Italian press reported we are willing to get rid of Marcus Rojo. He's injured at the moment, he's struggled to get run of games, since he's come to United. He's had a difficult time since he's come to United, because he's been struggling to keep fit, struggled to get a run of games together, as I said, and he's had a lot of injury problems as Marcus Rojo, so we're willing to get rid of him to make way for Koulibaly, but I don't think we'll be getting rid of Rojo, obviously, until the summer. But obviously, Koulibaly would be fantastic, as I said. He's still got a contract run until 2023. I think he's open to the Old Trafford move, because I think he does actually want to make the move to Manchester United, as we all know. But he'd be fantastic. He'd be a good leader in our back line, with Koulibaly. He'd dramatically improve us in that defensive line without a shadow of a doubt. And he would be a great major signing for us if we did get a deal over the line. But it would probably be likely, potentially, to happen in the summer. To be quite honest with you. But we know we've been linked with other players. Milan Skriniar has been mentioned. I think he's got good physical attributes, is Milan Skriniar. As I said, he's 23, Koulibaly's 27, and Skriniar's 4 years younger than Koulibaly. But obviously, he's nowhere near, Skriniar is nowhere near on the same level as Koulibaly, as we all know. He's 23, he's Slovakian. He's 23 years of age, as I said. But I think Lucius Bell, the Inter Milan boss, has confirmed that they're not willing to do any, he's confirmed as the Inter Milan boss that no team can afford him, because reportedly he's rated at around £70 million, is Milan Skriniar. But he's been potentially one of Ed Woodward's targets as well, as Milan Skriniar. But he has been mentioned in the press, of course, nowhere near the same calibre or level as Koulibaly, but he's obviously 4 years younger than Koulibaly, as we all know. We know we've been linked with Toby Alderweireld and Roma's Costas Manolas as well. We've obviously been linked with them, and Eddie Militao's been mentioned in the press as well. So we have potentially been linked to him as well, and his versatility is very, very good. He can play as centre back, a defensive mid, but he's predominantly a right back. He's Eddie Militao. He's got 40 million release clause in his current contract. I think he's still got 4 years left on his deal with Porto. Porto signed him last summer, as we all currently know, but he's only 20 years of age, so he's very, very young in his prime. He's Eddie Militao. Made his Brazil international debut last year as well. But he's very, very young, is this player, as we all know. But he's been mentioned in the press quite a few times. I think reportedly Real Madrid have also been interested in Eddie Militao. But we know reports have been coming out today as well, regarding Steven Bergwijn, the current PSV midfield. He can actually play on each flank in this play, this Steven Bergwijn. He's under contract with PSV till 2022. He's very, very young in his prime. He's 21. He is Dutch. He's the player, as I said, and he can play on each flank. He's got a contract till 2022. Reportedly, Solskjaer told Manchester United to make an approach for the player. I think we have previously scouted the player, to be quite honest with you. Steven Bergwijn. He's a PSV winger, and he's capable of playing on each flank, so he's versatile on each flank, as I said. So you can play on the left wing, you can play on the right wing, can this play? But he's 21 years of age. Don't really know much about this Steven Bergwijn, to be quite honest with you. He's now at PSV and he's grown and developed very, very well. And, since he's got into the first team, his performances have been very, very well. He actually began his youth career with Ajax. I think he as well, in his youth career played for PSV. In his youth career, he actually played for the PSV reserve team as well. I think it's called John PSV. He's a PSV reserve team. But since he's broken into the first team, his performances have reportedly, been very, very impressive indeed. So reportedly, there has been talks about that as well going on in the media. We know we're constantly still being linked with a move for Philippe Coutinho, because he's been mentioned in the press as well as Philippe Coutinho, because obviously he hasn't been good at Barcelona, to be quite honest with you, since he's been at Barcelona, as we all know, hasn't been getting the game time that he wants, and he hasn't lived to expectations in Spain, with Barcelona, to be quite fair. Philippe Coutinho, as I currently said, he's only been there a year. Barcelona paid £142 million for him last year, and potentially he's the third most expensive player in world football is Coutinho, but obviously he's Premier League proven, and he's proven to play in the Premier League, in the past, because he had 5 great years with Liverpool. He grew and developed very, very well, and he flourished with Liverpool because he can score goals, he can provide. He's 26, so he is in his mid-20s, and he is Brazilian, he's Philippe Coutinho, but it's unlikely he will be leaving in this January window anyway. But if he continues, if this does persist, and this does continue till the summer, and he's not getting enough game time under his belt, then Coutinho may consider leaving Barcelona, as we all currently know. But I think he's had a difficult time, since he's been at Barcelona. If we were willing to, if we were willing to, put a bid in, it would cost us probably in the excess of over £100 million for Coutinho anywhere. As I clearly said, but he's a very, very good player, because he'd be a good addition to our squad. As I said, I don't think it'll happen anywhere, but I think he's mainly his attacking midfield. He's in attacking midfield. I think that's his main position. He can play on each flank, can Philippe Coutinho, and I think he cannot actually operate as a second striker as well. So his versatility also is very, very good. Coutinho's, when he was young in his prime, he actually played under Mauricio Pochettino. Obviously, when Coutinho was young in his prime, he was on loan with Espanyol, and at the time he was on loan with Espanyol. Coutinho, Pochettino currently was managing as well, and he actually began his senior career with Inter Milan. Did Coutinho, as we all know. Liverpool paid £8.5 million for him, so financially, Liverpool, made a huge profit on the player from Barcelona. But obviously at the time, Liverpool wanted to keep Philippe, because they knew how much of an essential, important player he was for them, as I currently said. But there has been a lot of rumours going on about it, that Man United have been in talks and with Barcelona, and Man United have approached Philippe Coutinho's representative over this, as I currently said. But as I did say, so it's been a good win for us today. 2-1 against Brighton. That's 7 wins out of 7, 19 goals scored. Pogba's scoring and providing, as he didn't do under Mourinho. He's getting the freedom to express himself more. And Pogba's a really, really good player. On this kind of form, Paul Pogba, he's like 2 players in one when he performs like this anywhere. But he's on at least 12, 15 goals a season, Pogba, when he's playing like this, as I currently said. He had that chance in the first half, didn't he, with an overhead kick as well, as I did see on the highlights, to be quite honest with you. But it's a total different Manchester United, and we're getting a glimpse now of the Alex Ferguson days. He's bringing the style of football, obviously, that we used to play under Alex Ferguson, is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It's having some smoke to this. And obviously Paul Pogba's been coming out in the press saying that we have changed our identity completely. No, he said we have discovered, what did he say now, Pogba, if I can remember? He says we have undiscovered the identity under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And I think potentially Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has restored Alex Ferguson's techniques without a shadow of a doubt, because the confidence is in the team, the motivation is in the team, which is very, very good to see. But as I did say, why can't they just give Solskjaer the money now? Because Arsenal obviously can't afford to buy anyone in this January window, so they're going to probably get loan signings. Tottenham obviously have got problems now because they've got Harry Kane out till March of they've got Son out on international duty as well, so it's unlikely Tottenham will be spending in this January window. Arsenal will be only making loan signings because they haven't been getting the right amount of funds to spend on players. Chelsea have had a really good window so far, to be fair, and that's what we need to do. We need to be like Chelsea and get a couple of players on the board, because already Chelsea have got 2 players in this January window. I think they're on the verge of getting, a third player, that is Leandro Paredes from Zenit St. Petersburg, as we all know. And that Arsenal-Chelsea game is going to be a very good game. It's kicked off now. I think it's going to be hard to call, to be quite honest with you. Arsenal haven't got the best of records over Chelsea, as we all know. But actually, Arsenal are unbeaten in 12 previous North London derbies, I think, in the league. As I said, I think this season they've scored 20 goals in 7 London derby matches of Arsenal so far this season. And to be quite honest with you, it will be a tight game. Obviously, now we've catched up with Arsenal, which is very good to see, as I said. But as I updated you earlier on with a bit of the news that's currently going on, with some of the transfer rumours, as I said, obviously we'll give you a bit of Arsenal's, because obviously, with Arsenal, as I did say, obviously they want top 4 this season, because they're going for top 4, we're going for top 4. What are you doing?
I thought it was late.
No. No, why?
Arsenal game.
Who's winning? As I did say, obviously, we're going for top 4, Arsenal going for top 4, and Chelsea, I think, could still potentially, get third now. But obviously, Arsenal playing now. But as I did say, Arsenal, Unai has confirmed they can only get loan signings in this January window. And he has confirmed that he's ruled out making any permanent moves for players, because Arsenal haven't been getting the right amount of funds. And obviously, they haven't got the funds to get any purchases in this January window. And they haven't been getting the right amount of funds. They didn't get it under Wenger. They haven't been getting it so far under Unai. But obviously, Arsenal have got Aubameyang and Lacazette up front who are delivering the goods very well this season for them. They're scoring goals, leading the lines, and they're a fantastic partnership, and Aubameyang and Lacazette. But Unai has come out and he's confirmed the 2 key areas he wants to strengthen up. He wants a winger and he wants a central defender, as we all currently know, because obviously Arsenal have still got injury problems. Ozil's future still uncertain, because Unai has been coming out saying that he's not thinking about Ozil leaving, but Unai did confirm he wants Ozil to leave. He said he wants to sell Ozil, to raise some funds into Arsenal Football Club, as he has confirmed. But we know names being mentioned in the last couple of days in the media. Do you think it'd be a good addition, to Arsenal squad? Young in his prime, to be quite fair. Harabi Lozonio, only 23 years of age, to be quite fair. Commonly known as Chucky, to be quite honest with you. He's Harabi Lozonio, he's called. Arsenal will probably have to pay in the region of probably up to £40 million to get him anywhere in this January transfer window. That's what I think PSV are demanding they want. PSV may lower the fee down in the summer, as I currently said, but it's unlikely Harabi Lozonio is going to leave in this January transfer window anywhere. It's also from the press reported that Arsenal have been interested and Napoli have been interested in arriving Lozonio as well. It came out a couple of weeks ago that Chelsea were actually interested in arriving Lozonio, as it did come out a couple of weeks ago in the press, but Raiola represents the player. I don't think he has a good relationship with Chelsea. He came out, Raiola, saying that he will be staying at PSV this month for the player, but his performances in the World Cup last summer for Mexico were absolutely fantastic. His performances in Mexico were unbelievable. The players in the World Cup last summer. PSV got him for £7 million. He's got a very impressive Eredivisie record, since he's been at PSV. He scored 17 goals in his debut season. He's got a contract with them till 2023, as we all know, as Harabi Lozonio, and he is 23 years of age, as we all know, and he can score goals, he can provide assists, as he has proven, as I said. But Arsenal have reportedly, been linked to him, and they've identified him as a number 1 replacement for Mesut Ozil, as we all currently know. I've seen him as a number 1 replacement for the Mesut Ozil, as we all know, because Ozil's obviously on £350,000 a week. Obviously, he's Arsenal's highest paid player, and Arsenal have got average players on big contracts, as we all currently know. That's obviously a worry for Arsenal, as we all currently know. Ozil's on £350,000 a week, and I think reportedly the only team that's been interested is Inter Milan in Mesut Ozil, to quite honest with you. But his future, obviously, is still uncertain with Arsenal, as we all know. And the Denis Suarez, scenario that's going on. Obviously, Arsenal, I think, have agreed to pay his loan fee of around £2 million, and then they have to pay probably just under £20 million in the summer to make the deal permanent, reportedly, because Denis Suarez is keen on reuniting with Unai after they worked together when Denis Suarez obviously was on loan with Sevilla, as we all currently know. But he's 25 years of age, has had a difficult time with Barcelona, to be quite honest with you, but Barcelona have come out and confirmed they want to sign him an extension on his contract before he does join Arsenal, as we all know. But as I did say, he's 25, he's versatile, he can play on the left, he can play on the right, he can play centre, so Arsenal have to think about, Arsenal have to hope he hits the ground running. They'd have to think about where his best position position would be in the Arsenal team? Do you think he'd complement the Arsenal team very, very well, Denis Suarez? But we know the Barcelona president's been in negotiations with Arsenal, and even Barcelona president's confirmed. Barcelona president's confirmed that he's promised Denis Suarez a move to Arsenal this month, and Arsenal have been in negotiations with Denis Suarez's representatives over this. His girlfriend's come out and confirmed on Instagram that he will be signing for Arsenal. Denis Suarez's girlfriend confirmed on Instagram that Denis Suarez will be signing for Arsenal. So this could be a positive news for Arsenal, as I currently said. But obviously Arsenal have been heavily linked with Denis Suarez, as we all know. It's been one of Arsenal's key targets as Denis Suarez, as we all know. But Barcelona at one point were playing hardball, but now Barcelona seem to have softened the stance. I think Barcelona are keen on sanctioning him off permanently, Denis Suarez, to be quite honest with you. But he has obviously, been talked about that as well. I've already given you the news on Aaron Ramsey. He's going to be leaving. It's probably likely Aaron Ramsey is going to be leaving in the summer to join Juventus. Obviously, Arsenal have also targeted, as we all know, they've been interested in Bayern Munich's James Rodriguez. He's been mentioned in the press in the last couple of days as James Rodriguez, as we all know, because James Rodriguez is on a 2-year loan deal with Bayern Munich, as we all know at the moment, is James Rodriguez. Bayern Munich do have the option to make the deal permanent in the summer for James Rodriguez. It did reportedly say Arsenal were inquiring about getting him on loan, and it just only could cost Arsenal £3 million for James Rodriguez. 27-year-old, is Colombian, as we all currently know. But there has been talks about, James Rodriguez as a replacement for Mesut Ozil, as we all currently know. But yeah, there's been reports going on about that as well. Do you think he'd be a great addition to Arsenal's squad if he was to go to Arsenal? James Rodriguez, as I currently said, but he's also, being mentioned in the press as James Rodriguez. So potentially Arsenal have got a few potential targets, as we all know. So they're currently playing Chelsea at the moment, but Chelsea have done fantastic business in this transfer window. To be quite fair, I honestly don't think Manchester City, will be making signings, to be quite honest with you, in this January window. Pep Guardiola spent about 530, he's just under £600 million, I think Pep Guardiola spent on that Manchester City team. He has spent over £1 billion in all of his career as Pep Guardiola, but majority of the money's being spent on Manchester City, as we all know. I don't think City really need any reinvestments in their team. I think they may indicate they may want a left back because they've got injuries to Benjamin Mendy and Claudio Bravo's injured as well. So they may want a left back in Manchester City. But I don't think they'll be getting any players in this January window, to quite honest with you. I can't see that happening, to be quite honest with you. But it is definitely between City and Liverpool for the league. Liverpool definitely won't be getting any, players in this January window, to quite fair, because they spent 171 million last summer, so they were the biggest spenders last summer. Klopp's invested in the last couple of seasons, in that Liverpool team, as I said. But Liverpool's still looking very, very good. They won 4-3 today. What a game that was. You wouldn't have expected, Crystal Palace to score 3 goals at Anfield, as we all currently know. But Chelsea doing the business in this window without a shadow of a doubt, as we all know. But Chelsea know they're gonna lose players, as we all know. David Luiz is coming to an end of his contract in the summer. Gary Cahill's likely he's going to be leaving. Chelsea is still in the market, obviously, for the replacement for Cesc Fabregas, as we all know. They're still in replacement, for Cesc Fabregas, as we all know. Obviously, Callum Hudson's linked with a move to Bayern Munich. And obviously, it looks like, Alvaro Morata is going to be leaving Stamford Bridge, as we all know. So potentially Chelsea, obviously, with Sarri's one of the key areas, Sarri wanted to strengthen up was his front line, because they haven't been scoring enough goals this season. Chelsea, they've been creating chances and they're good at holding on to the ball, but they wanted someone in that front line. And potentially now, it obviously confirmed that they have got Gonzalo Higuain. He's going to be a fantastic signing for Chelsea. He's going to be set to arrive in London within the next 48 hours, to complete his medical, to complete his 6-month loan to Stamford Bridge, as we all know. But potentially Chelsea do have, maybe depending on the appearances in the goals, the loan could be extended by a further year reportedly, but Chelsea do have the option to make the deal permanent for £32 million this summer, as we all know. And it was made clear that Gonzalo Higuain did want to make the move to Stamford Bridge, and I think he'll deliver the goods, he'll lead the lines, he'll score them goals, because he is a proven and prolific goal scorer, and that's someone what Chelsea did need. They needed a striker, did Chelsea, because Morata has been very, very poor since he's been at Chelsea. He's had a lot of chances this season, and he's cost Chelsea points as Alvaro Morata. So he's been very, very poor for Chelsea, as Alvaro Morata, because he's failed to emulate what he did at Real Madrid and what he did at Juventus as well, Alvaro Morata, as we all know. But it's been a bit of a I don't think he's playing well. He isn't playing in this
Chelsea-Arsenal game is Gonzalo Higuain. Due to that, Chelsea were keen on trying to give him his Premier League debut in his first match. To be quite honest with you, it didn't go through, fast enough. So potentially it has been a bit of a delay, Higuain to Chelsea, due to the Morata situation with Atletico Madrid, as we all currently know. But Higuain, he'll do absolutely fantastic. He'll score goals. He scored over 200 odd goals in like, what is it, just under 600 appearances, throughout his playing career, as we all know. But obviously, Sarri knows him well. He knows Sarri. We know the Chelsea board and the Chelsea directors do have strong reservations about this Gonzalo Higuain. Due to that, he's obviously age 31, is Gonzalo Higuain. So this is why the Chelsea director and the Chelsea board obviously have got reservations over it, as we all know. But he's a really, really good player. He was great when he was young in his prime. He had 6 good years with Real Madrid, as I did say. He had 3 fantastic years with Napoli. As we all know, he broke Serie A record. He scored 36 goals in one season with Napoli. And, he had 2 good years with Real Madrid, Juventus as well, did Gonzalo Higuain. Didn't establish himself whilst he was on loan at AC Milan. He didn't do so well whilst he was on loan at AC Milan, but it does not mean he's not going to do Chelsea. I think he'll do well at Chelsea. Some people may think he'll become a flop at Chelsea, Gonzalo Higuain, but I think it's a really, really good signing for Chelsea. And Chelsea are obviously in the Europa League just like Arsenal, so I think Chelsea, could still potentially get third this season, because obviously now Tottenham, it's a bad blow for them. They've got Harry Kane now, potentially one of the best strikers in the Premier League without a shadow of a doubt, and he's out till March, so that could be a potential big blow for Tottenham, as we all currently know. But obviously, as I did say, regarding the Alvaro Morata situation, I definitely think Morata, he's going to believe in his Morata, and reportedly the Spanish expert has come out in the media, and he has actually confirmed as the Spanish expert that Alvaro Morata has agreed to join Atletico Madrid. He's also confirmed that he's reached a personal agreement to join Atletico Madrid, as I did say. I think Chelsea are keen on sanctioning him off permanently. There has been talks about him going out on loan. He's on about £8-9 million per season with Chelsea, but reportedly his wage could be a problem of Atletico Madrid getting him. But from Morata's perspective, he did actually say he's willing to take a pay cut to actually join Atletico Madrid, is Alvaro Morata. He hasn't lived to expectation levels at Chelsea, as we all know. He hasn't lived to expectation levels at Chelsea. Obviously he's no longer Sarri's number one choice. He's Alvaro Morata, as we all know, and he's failed to establish himself. He's failed to live up to expectations. At Stamford Bridge, and Chelsea fans would have wanted a lot more from him, and he hasn't really done much. Since he's been at Chelsea. And I think he's been potentially crap for Chelsea, because Chelsea paid £60 million for him in 2017. He signed a 5-year deal when he joined Chelsea. I just still, in my opinion, at the time preferred Morata, over Romelu Lukaku. To be quite fair. But as I did say, Morata obviously is keen on going to Atletico Madrid. There's been a few host of other clubs interested in him, as I did say to you. But now Atletico Madrid are the front runners, to get the player, because he actually began his youth career with Atletico Madrid. His youth career did Alvaro Morata. But reportedly, I think it's confirmed that Atletico Madrid are going to be paying a £3 million loan fee for the player to get him on loan, and then made the deal permanent in the summer by paying an extra £40 million for Alvaro Morata, as we all know. But first, Atletico Madrid have got to sanction either Klasnic or Gelson Martins, or they could actually potentially sanction them both off. Could Atletico Madrid, but I don't think it's officially announced yet that he's going to Atletico Madrid, but there's still negotiations going on between Chelsea and Atletico Madrid in the process. As we all know, and I think Morata, from his own perspective, has had talks, in Madrid as well, in the current process himself. But obviously Chelsea are obviously on the brink as well of getting Leandro Paredes, because we all know that he's been potentially, mentioned in the press. He could be Chelsea's third signing in this current January transfer window, as I did confirm, because I don't think a fee has been agreed as yet. Zenit St. Petersburg are demanding that they want around £36 million for the player, as we all know. Chelsea had one bid turned down. I think they've come in with a second bid in the process of like 31 million or something like that. But I think he's keen on the move to Stamford Bridge, this Zenit St. Petersburg midfielder. Obviously, Chelsea see him as a replacement for Cesc Fabregas, as we all know, Leandro Paredes, because, he's only 24 years of age. He does want to leave Russia. He's Argentinian, and as we all know, is the player as well as this Leandro Paredes. Roma paid £24 million for him. Zenit St. Petersburg paid £24 million for him from Roma, as we all know. He actually began his youth career with Boca Juniors, did the play. I think he's played for Chevrolet in the past, an employee on loan as well. But I think a contract has been agreed, personal terms have been agreed. I think Chelsea are willing to give him £80,000 a week. Chelsea are willing to give him £80,000 a week. I think it's going to be a 4.5-year deal, and I think that the annual is going to be around 4.5 million a year as well for this Leandro Paredes. But yeah, I don't really know much about him, to be quite honest with you, but he is experienced as this player, but he does want to leave Zenit St. Petersburg. But Chelsea have been in negotiations with Zenit St. Petersburg over this as well, so this could be their third signing. Chelsea have done very, very good business in this January transfer window, to be quite fair, but we know they do have a good policy, but they've got a strict policy of only giving players that have 30 years or over 12 months contract. That's their strict policy. But the director of Chelsea and the board do have reservations about Gonzalo Higuain because he's age 31, but he'll do very, very well for you, and these Chelsea fans should be very, very happy with his signing. Now this will allow Eden Hazard to go back in his favoured role on the left hand side in the Chelsea squad, because he's recently been playing in a false number 9 position, Eden Hazard, recently in the Premier League. So you're going back on the left hand side will Eden Hazard, as I said. So yeah, guys, that's mainly everything to update today. But Solskjaer, as I did say, has changed everything in the Manchester United team. As I said, everything's changed. Football's better, scoring goals, leading the lines, creating more chances, keeping hold of the possession better. When one of us, he's on another level now, in my opinion, is Rashford. He's scoring more goals now. His finishing's dramatically improved as well as Marcus Rashford, which is good to see. And Martial's been very, very good this season anyway, but I think he's looked much, much better under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And as I did say, playing in this vein, we're playing in the right vein now, as we all know, playing in the vein, we are a team that can challenge for the league next season, but we still know that we do need signings in that team. So if, I would give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer the money now, as I have currently confirmed. It did say last year he was going to get around the £50 million spending spree, to spend in this January transfer window, as I said. So I'd just give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer the money now, to be quite honest with you. I really, really would, because we could still in this January window. The Arsenal can't. They're only going to go in for loans because they ain't got the money. They can't afford to purchase many players. Tottenham probably won't make any signings. As I said, Chelsea have done really, really good business. As I said, in this January transfer window, and that's what we need to do. We need to get a strong central defender in there. Without a shadow of a doubt, we need at least one signing in this January transfer window, as we're all aware of. As I currently. Anyway, that's my review, and that's all the news to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel, guys. If you do consider subscribing, as always, and take care. God bless, guys. I'll see you all again very, very soon. Thank you.